you might as well get your popcorn because we finna have a discussion. And I don't even know where to start. What's up? What's good? What's poppin'? It's your girl Deegaloure, and I'm back at it again with another video. First and foremost, I would like to say hello to the new subscribers and hello to my old ones as well. A1 since day one. I fuck with y'all. Oh, I mess with y'all. But y'all already see the topic of this video. It's finna get real. That's all I gotta say. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so colorism. Why am I discussing this topic? It has popped up on my social media so much. I mean, based on the pages that I follow, like I follow all these black curated pages, so that topic is gonna pop up because it's something that is real and happening in the community. But it had recently popped up on my timeline again. It was about a comedian. Her name is Jessie Woo, the one that be like, sister. She was actually auditioning. She actually auditioned for a Wild 'N Out, but as a comedian. But they wound up casting her as a Wild 'N Out girl. And so she just, like, the interview, she was just talking about, her experience with it and everything like that. And so I just wanted to make a video about this because this is something that, one, I hold near and dear to my heart. One, being a dark-skinned woman, but also because I've researched this for, like, over the, I don't know how many years, because I'm a college student. I'm a psych major at that. And so anytime we had to do a paper or research, it was always on colorism. Even in high school, we had to make videos or something like that, it was always on colorism. And so let me just tell y'all like the kind of official definition of colorism, just so if there's people out there that act like they don't know what it is. So it's basically discrimination based on skin color. Also known as colorism or shadeism, is a form of prejudice or discrimination, usually from members of the same race, in which people are treated differently based on the social implications from cultural meanings attached to skin color. So call it what you want. You can call it skin bias. You can call it light skin versus dark skin. I've seen so many names for it. But that is the official definition. Well, not the official definition, but the more, in tune definition of colorism. I don't even know this topic. I don't even know where to start. I guess I can start by discussing how people don't believe that it's real. I think that many people have the mindset of, one, that it is a state of mind, and that basically it's basically based on how you perceive it, or it's that, well, it hasn't happened to me, so it's not real type of thing. It's just people that have that mindset irritate me. They irk me, because it's just like, just because you're not experiencing it doesn't mean it's not happening. Like, especially when people of my own community say that it's not real, or they kind of like brush it off to the side, and it's just like, bro, like, I don't mean to sound like those people that be like, how are we gonna basically fix a system that's against us as a whole without trying to fix our own problems within our own community. But it's just that, like, I mean, I don't mean to sound like them, but I kind of do at the same time, but I mean, they more so talk about black on black crime, but I'm just saying, like, based on like how we treat each other, and it's like we don't really like to uplift a lot of the time. It's more so of a tear it down type of thing, or I'm better than you type of thing. But yeah, people really do have that mindset of colorism. It either doesn't exist, or it's like, I'm not finna worry about it because it's not happening to me. So based on my little, research or whatever, it basically, came from slavery, and how we were divided as a people, with the darker slaves were more so working in the fields, and the lighter slaves were in-house. And, at the time when I was younger, people would make jokes. They would make jokes and be like, well, I'm a house slave, you was in the field, so at least I have to do no work type stuff. And it's not funny. It's not. It's really not. It just goes to show you, even at a young age when it starts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just nervously laughing because it's just like now everything, all the experiences and everything is just coming back to me. But it basically started from there. And so because the lighter skinned slaves more so closely resembled the the slave owners, then that's why they were in the house. So if they would entertain guests, it wasn't basically like that out of place type of feeling. And I feel like that's what colorism is. It's like it's making you feel like you're out of place, like there's something wrong with you. So that brings me to a little story, because this basically is gonna be a discussion, but it's also gonna be anecdotal too, because like I said, like me being a dark skinned woman, I've experienced it in so many situations and in so many levels. It's ridiculous. But there was this one time I was in elementary school. I was in the 5th grade, I think, either the 5th or 6th grade, and I was a little smarty pants, so I was taking 6th grade reading and math. And so, I was always in the 6th grade classroom. And one of the 6th graders, he was like, because you had to line up, what I'm saying, outside the room, discipline type, right? So we were standing in the line, and dude, he was known as like, the goofy, the what's it called, the goofy, like the class clown. He was known as the class clown or whatever. So he was always making jokes about people and all this other stuff. So we walk up to the line. He's in the line across the hall, and he says like something about my skin color. I really can't specifically remember what he said, but when I tell you that I got so angry, he was just like, he was like saying how, like, talking about how dark I was, and just, and not in a good way, what I'm saying, obviously in a bad way, in the most negative way. And so I looked at him, because I don't know why I was mad that day, but I was mad already. And I guess usually I would probably brush it off, but today was not the day to mess with me. So I looked at him, and I said, shut the... Like, I was going off. And the crazy thing about it was, he was dark skinned. He was a dark skinned boy. And it's like, and that's the thing, like, most of the discrimination comes from dark skinned men, and it's ridiculous. Like, it's like you really sit there and be like, well, then what you got to say for yourself? Like, are you not dark skinned as well? Like, do you not see yourself as dark skinned? I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's ridiculous how it's just like, I mean, it shouldn't be coming from anybody. It shouldn't be coming from anybody in general. But it's just like, you would think that because we're both dark skinned and we both experience some type of colorism, like we would be banded together allies type, and that's not the case at all. And it's crazy. And so, like, when I got home and after I did all of that, because when I cursed him out, he was like, he looked hella confused, and I'm just like, yeah, you deserve that. But when I got home afterwards, I started thinking about it like, well, dang, like, he's darker than me. I'm like, and then I just got confused. I really just got confused. Fast forward to when I'm older. Anytime men would slide into the DMs or whatever, or just try to talk to me, the first thing that would come out of their mouth, just guess. I'll give you a second. I'll give you 5 seconds to guess what the hell the first statement they would say to me. You got it? You ready? We're gonna say it together. 1, 2, 3. You're pretty for a dark skinned girl. Bro. Like, why do you think that is okay to say? And that's the thing. Like, people think that it's okay to say, like, it's not no you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. Like, you're pretty to be whatever characteristic you have. Like, no, it's a you pretty. You could have just left it at you pretty, but you just had to add that you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. So now that tells me that you think that for the majority, dark skinned girls aren't pretty at all. aren't pretty at all. Like it's a rarity. Like, oh my god, damn, it's she pretty as hell and she dark skinned. That's surprising as hell. No, I had to get my popcorn because it's like it's just getting it's just getting too real. Like, I don't know, like it just sucks that it's not just dudes, it's just that everybody has that mindset of, you know, dark skinned girls are just not pretty. They refer to us as, you know, that black over there, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, and like people do like to justify it and say that it's a preference. And I really don't know what to say to I really don't know what to say to that, because it's like, okay, you can have your preference, but you can be respectful about it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be like, you know, you prefer. You know what? You know what? I don't even know. People do like to say that it's a preference, but that's why I said, like, you can be respectful about it. But I don't even know, in a guy sense, how you can be respectful about it. Because, like, with me, like, yes, I prefer a dark-skinned man, but I've dated more than a dark-skinned man. Like, I've dated brown skin, I've dated lighter skin. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just that, like, you know, I would prefer a dark-skinned man, but, like, I can see myself with a dark-skinned man, but, you know, whatever happens, happens. But I feel like as far as a guy, and this may be a double standard, but as far as like a guy is concerned, I just feel like it's more of a, you know, light skin. I prefer her because, one, you know, it's already instilled in their mind that, you know, light skin is prettier. And then on top of that, it's like it goes into that conversation of, I want to have pretty babies. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they think that that, like, you know, if they have a light skinned wife, their baby's just gonna come out like beautiful as hell. But if they have a dark skinned wife, then, man, that baby gonna look ugly. Like, they damn near can't even look at the child type. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Because, like, I've also had conversations of, like, this one dude was like, oh, I ain't never talked to no dark skinned girl before. And I really did not know how to reply to that. I was just like, but I just yeah, I don't know. It just gets into and the crazy thing about it is that, like, you know, when people tell their stories of, like, things that they've faced and what they've went through based on because of their darker skin, people like to say, you know, oh, they just want to pity themselves. They want us to feel sorry for them, and, you know, they don't, like, it's not even that serious. Like, why are you worried about what other people are thinking? You know what I'm saying? But then, like, not sorry, to be honest with you, but then when a light skinned girl is in mother stress, it's a, oh, let me help her. What's wrong, baby? Let me tell me what happened. Like, but then when a dark skinned girl do it, it's like, girl, get out of here. Like, what is you talking about? You damn near lying. We don't care. Types, like, oh, it's like when you try to express what you're going through and try to connect to people on another level, like, they just neglect it, and it's just ridiculous because, I mean, that's what happens. And I mean, if you don't like what I'm saying, it's the truth. So, I mean, if you don't like the truth, then you just exit yourself right out this video, because I really don't care. Like, I'm just speaking based off of experience and from what I've seen. And it's like, colorism doesn't just, you know, happen on a scale of, you know, of romantic relationships. It happens with business, like I just said with Jesse Wu. Like, it It happens in so many different arenas, bro. It's not even funny. Dude said, just because I prefer a beautiful light skin over a dark skin, like, don't be mad. So one of the girls was like, I don't like how you said that. And it's like, it's little subtle things like that that people do not get that happen. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, he used that adjective, beautiful light skin, and then he just said dark skin. Like, we just average, below average, like subpar type. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's little stuff like that. Like, you could have said, you didn't even have to use beautiful. To be honest with you, you could have just said, just because I prefer light skin over dark skin doesn't mean, it's just my preference. Like, you could have just left it at that. But the fact that you added beautiful, but then you didn't say anything about beautiful, pretty, any type of adjective that you could have used, the million adjectives you could have used for dark skinned women that you just chose not to use. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's little stuff like that happens, and it's ridiculous. Just with him using that adjective, it's like now branching into the thing of pretty privilege. Like, I didn't know what that was until like people started talking about it. Like, not like recently, but just like a little, like maybe like freshman, sophomore year of high school, I realized what pretty privilege was. And it's basically just like, just based off of your looks. If the majority think that you're pretty, then you get to get certain things. So people might buy you drinks. They might be like, oh, let me pump your gas. Like, just little small stuff, or maybe big scale stuff too. And so it's like that kind of branches off into that too a little bit, because it's like, more light-skinned girls are prone to receive pretty privilege. And crickets. That's all I gotta say. That should leave it right there. Crickets, cause can't relate. Can't relate. I'm not saying I'm not pretty. I'm just saying pretty privilege has not entered this area, honey. I have no idea. Can't relate. Can't relate. So that's just it. But let's fast forward to a little recently when Oprah decided to make a film documentary about this. They had dark skinned girls and they had dark girls. I'm sorry, dark girls, light girls. Dark Girls came out in 2011. Light Girls came out in 2015. Okay, so we had, dark girls telling, like, basically talking how I am with you, their experiences with colorism, shadeism, skin bias, all the other stuff, right? And so then they had light girls. And so they were talking about they were basically saying, which I already knew already happened. They were saying in the film that because of their lighter skin tone, majority of the black community would be like, well, basically, like, you're barely passing as black, and what are you? Like, they would think that they're mixed with something, so they might not, because they're light, they might be, might have a black dad or a black dad and a white mom, or vice versa. And so, like, that was coming up a lot in the documentary, and I definitely don't, like, downplay that, because it does happen. Like, I've seen it happen to them, and stuff like that. But I explain that to say that I feel like a lot of women of lighter complexion, I'm not saying that everybody does it, okay, but I think that a lot of girls, women of lighter complexion, like to use it as a what about me, like, like, basically, like, I'm gonna let you, like, to the dark skinned girls, like, I'm gonna let you finish, but I go through some type of discrimination too. And it's like, it's similar to, All Lives Matter. Like, like, what about me? Like, I'm experiencing some type of, what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, we get that, but it's like, it's not about you. Like, you experiencing some type of discrimination, okay, we acknowledge that, but darker girls, darker women are experiencing it on a much higher level over a span of years. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like okay, calm down, sweetie. We're gonna get to you, but it's like, let's tackle this first. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, now you still trying to, that continuous downplay of what darker girls are going through. Okay. So And I just feel like just basically like where it comes from a little bit more. It's just that, like, we were taught that, like, whiter skin is of the superiority of majority, and so it's like that's literally translated and just transferred into us, into the black community of, the lighter you are, the more that you resemble whiteness, then the higher up on the hierarchy you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the best. You're the winner, while the rest of us take L's. And it's just, I'm just thinking, because it's like, when I tell you that, because of like just this basis of experience right here about colorism and shadeism and all this other stuff, like, I was really at a point of in my youth of, like, hating myself, had low self-esteem, because, like, I would go to school and I would act all tough, but then when I got home, I'm like, I hate my skin, I wish I was lighter, I'm ugly as hell, like. And people would tell me, like, you're so beautiful and all this other stuff, like, beautiful chocolate skin, and I'm just like, thank you, but, like, it doesn't matter what you're telling me. What I believe is that I'm ugly, because that's what other people are telling me, I'm ugly. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, it really got to a point where I was considering bleaching my skin at one point. Like, and I was literally, like, when I tell you that I was in my head, like, okay, if I get the skin bleaching cream, I gotta buy it cash because my mom's gonna see the trace of it. Then I gotta figure out how to use it without my grandma or my mom seeing me do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it has to be a gradual process. Like, I have to use it sometimes, but I still have to, like, I was literally going through this in my head at a young ass age in elementary school. Like, okay, cause, like, I have a cousin. She's of lighter skin, and so I never hated her for having lighter skin, cause I was just like, okay, I want to be as light as Nia. Like, I gotta get to her complexion, and then I'll get and it was an attention thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was receiving all this negative attention, I was like, okay, maybe if I'm lighter, then, people will like me more, and then I would get all this. And I was just really trying to do it for all of the wrong reasons. And it's like, I shouldn't have had thought of that and had that mindset when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that is the problem right there. That's the problem. That's the problem. So I asked questions. I mean, not ask questions, but I just asked people's thoughts on colorism on my Instagram. For the few people that replied, thank you. I guess that it was too much of a sensitive topic for some. Because about 150 people, dang near 200 people watched that story, and only not even 6 people replied, right? So one person said, I just said, like, what are y'all's opinions on colorism? So then one person said, deadass, never experienced that shit till I came to NOLA for school. Sometimes, you shaded, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're protected. Not necessarily protected, but, like, depending on your environment, you probably don't experience that. Especially if you're growing up in a white, like a white neighborhood, white environment, like, you'll experience that racism. I'm white, you're black, like, I'm better than you type shit. So you experience the racism, but you wouldn't necessarily experience the colorism because you don't have that opportunity to where it's that large community of black people to where they can split it in half again and then be able to discriminate. You know what I'm saying? One person said, it's alive and well, and I shut that down whenever it presents itself. Thank you. This person is of a lighter skin complexion, so that's literally all we need. If we continue to condemn this, like, behavior and this mindset, then it's gonna change. Like, but then again, it's like, you can't change a person's mindset that easily. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even if you present all this evidence, they still might have the same type of way of thinking. It's just, basically, it is what it is. Another person said, it's a real thing. People need to stop pretending that it doesn't exist. Sorry, with little emoji. Yeah, they definitely do need to stop pretending that it doesn't exist. Like I said before, people think that just because it's not happening to them, it don't, like, it ain't got nothing to do with them. It's non-existent. Somebody else said, it's disguised as innate preference, as if preference isn't influenced by our socialization. That's all I gotta say. Period. That's all I gotta say is period. Like, you right. You right, honey. You was definitely, you was correct. That's what I say. So then somebody else said the cousin of racism needs to be addressed among the community. Like, and when we say it needs to be addressed, like fully discussed of basically what we're doing now, where it came from, anecdotes and everything like that, experiences, different experiences, so that people can realize that it's not just situational. You know what I'm saying? It's not relative, and just continue from there, so that people can actually fully understand and realize that it's an actual problem. Somebody else said that it's very real. It's rooted in slavery and shows in how we act today. Period. And that's basically what I just explained. So, it's just, all I gotta say is that here is your another piece of evidence of colorism, to be honest with you. You have so many resources, so many outlets that you really just can't sit there and just be like, I'm just gonna ignore it. Like, ignorance is not bliss. Like, please just educate yourself, and I just feel like if a dark-skinned woman is telling you that, her troubles of what she's experiencing, listen, understand, empathize, like, and continue from there. Continue to condemn it, and we can, if we end it, then, put a stop to it, then, enhance of the community. Like, it's no, I'm not saying it's simple, but it's just like just acknowledge it, recognize it, and then continue to chastise anybody that says anything negative towards it and just doesn't believe in it, to be honest with you. I know that I was talking about dark-skinned women, and I know that dark-skinned men experience it as well. I'm not leaving y'all out. I was just basically going off of experience, and then I was just rambling at the brain, to be honest with you. But I do acknowledge that dark-skinned men also experience the same thing. But dark-skinned women get majority of it from dark-skinned men. So I say that to say that dark-skinned men, y'all need to do better too. Y'all need to be held accountable. So if y'all made it to the end, to this part, then y'all made it to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.